Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Gamer Social Club Weekly News Podcast. My name is Mark, aka We Awoke in the Hive, and I'm your stand-in host today. As frequent members of the podcast are off on an adventure, which we'll talk about in a short while. So with you to talk a lot about Gamescom and a lot of the exciting news for this week in gaming. As always, joined by the greatest showman that we know, Adam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you guys. And looking forward to talking about all of the news because despite my amazing editorial on too many showcases, we have had a ton of showcases this week already. So looking forward to talking about them, of course.
Awesome. And this week is not a all British podcast panel, which is the first time in quite some time that we've had someone from the GSC America team joining us, and it's the host of the weekly Hangout show. Nathan, welcome to the news podcast. Really good to have you with us. How you doing?
What's going on? I'm really glad to be here. Dude, something I'm realizing is this is like the first time me and you have actually been on a podcast together. I mean, hell, we've been in some like gamer social club meetings and stuff together, but to actually like have like a face-to-face conversation, me and you, is like, I think this is the first time, which is crazy. So I'm very excited.
And what better way to get together than to talk about games and all the things that we've got to see for the last week. So there is a lot to talk about, isn't there, gents? So it's been a really busy week.
Just a little bit.
So, as I mentioned a moment or so ago, Harry and V are currently on a adventure to Cologne in Germany, and I'm sure that many listeners of the podcast can imagine what that will be this week. They are indeed attending Gamescom. So, the Gamer Social Club have staff attending the big events in Germany, the world's biggest games expo, and they've got meetings with lots of developers. Lots of content plans, and I can't lie, I think we're all pretty jealous, aren't we, boys? Of them being out there for that.
100%. But I'm very excited for them. I think it's going to be a really cool experience for them. So I'm like really excited for next week's episode to hear like their experiences coming back to all this. It's going to be fun for them.
I really like the idea of them like being on the show floor, like shurikening business cards at people, and we're just gonna get someone gonna be filming like highlights from Gamescom, and all you're gonna see is V and Harry like going across the show floor, backflips and all sorts.
I literally laughed out loud when I saw that message from Harry.
Yeah.
Well, she does like a dagger, so maybe she throws business cards like them. Who knows? So we'll sure get back. Death of the devs, maybe. Nathan, did you ever get to go to E3 as you're in the States before that was RIP'd?
I don't want to talk about it. No, I haven't. I would love to. You know, I mean, I've been to like local Comic Cons. I mean, I think the biggest event I've ever been to is Dallas Comic Con, which is honestly probably was a little smaller than Columbus, but that, yeah, I always wanted to. It's a dream of mine, and like I'm really excited. Like I'm trying really hard to make myself available for Summer Games Fest this year and like try to save up some money so I can be one of the ones to represent us. But you know, that's going to be all dependent on money. So we'll see how rent goes.
Gaming's getting a more expensive hobby, as we're going to talk about a bit later today. Let alone trying to get to the expo. So yeah, that's something I think we can all hope for in the near future, gents. So lots to look forward to. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Gamer Social Club before we get into the main course of the podcast. So we are a grassroots gaming website. We are all gamers. We love games. We write about games for you, and we have many connections with developers. And we like to shine a light on smaller games and increasingly much bigger games as well. So we're grassroots, and we like to support grassroots developers as well. We do lots of reviews, which you can check out on our site, and we've had lots come through in the last week or so. And we make sure that we complete every single game that we play. So you make sure you get a full-rounded opinion of the game that the reviewer has played from start to finish. providing they can. Sometimes bugs get in the way, of course. And the third pillar of our website is that we do not do leaks or rumors. So anything you read on the site is official news. There's none of that Twitter speculation, none of that BS. It's all official gaming news that you'll read on GSC. So we're really proud that we make sure that we deliver the news, which is 100% accurate. So yeah, no insider nonsense. Anyway, gents, so should we move forward with the first segment of the show, which is always what have we been playing? Nathan, as our guest of the week, do you want to tell us what you've been playing over the last few days?
Oh, sure thing. So I finished playing Red Dead Redemption 2 start to finish. I prestiged about 7 times in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and I played a couple of indie games, and that was just a Tuesday night, is what I want to say. I haven't played anything. I mean, Sunday night, I came home after spending the whole weekend with my family and stuff, and got into some Battlefield 6 beta. I played some more of the beta. So that was primarily the chunk of my gaming adventures right there. I started to play Mortal Kombat Chaos Reigns DLC, and then I fell asleep amidst playing it. I can't even remember at what point I fell asleep, but you know, the joys of gaming in adulthood, right? But yeah, no, this week's it's Gamescom, baby. Like, just so much coverage to do and talk about. But yeah, no, Battlefield 6 beta was phenomenal. I feel like I definitely talked that to death on the party chat thing, but you know, I've also been still kind of slowly chipping away at Expedition 33, because I finished the game. I'm just kind of currently at the point of trying to tackle all the end game content, and it's a beast. Like, I've finished and rolled credits at 33 hours, and I'm struggling to find the motive, because like, I want to fight Simon. I want to fight unnamed. I won't spoil the other boss, but sorry, what do you have a question, Johnny?
It was I'm not played.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But listen,
I want to do the last boss.
hey, listen.
Everyone has gotten that far in yet. I already lambasted Harry, rightly so, repeatedly, for ruining the start of it. I will not have somebody ruin the fucking end of it.
Hey, honestly though, I don't know.
All you have to say.
Well, I will say I didn't spoil anything just by the simple fact of I don't know who the fuck Simon is. I just know that I've seen all these people in the community be like, oh yeah, the boss, the extra boss, don't forget to fight this guy. So like, I don't even know if even saying his name is a spoiler at this point anyways, but yeah.
All I know is that anyone called Simon is very bossy. Like, you know what Simon's heads and all that sort of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Which in and of itself is a spoiler. So shut the fuck up, Nathan. But yeah, so I'm kind of just right now, I think I'm just going to kind of put it off to the side, and I'll come back to chip at it. Because like I said, I put like 32 hours into the game so far. And when I look at everybody else's hours that they put into it, they put in like 48 plus more hours than I have. And I don't know if I'm dedicated enough to... I don't know. I was saying this past weekend that it just feels like this is the part where I'm really feeling the lack of direction. Like, it's not bothered me up till this point, but now it's really bothering me because now there's no waypoints for me to go to. Now there's no path for me to follow to know what I'm missing. Like, how was I supposed to know X, Y, and Z boss was going to be in this game without me just mindlessly wandering around and stumbling upon them? So it goes back to that like Elden Ring vibe of I need to go to YouTube to figure that out, take notes and do this, that, and the other thing. And in such a busy summer, that's asking a lot of me, and I don't know if I can do it. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a thing where every now and again I come back to it. But what an amazing game. I really hope we get a chance to do a spoiler cast together at some point, because my gosh, it's the best thing since Witcher 3. That's what I keep saying. Like, it's the best thing since Witcher 3, Last of Us Part 2. Come on. Like, that game is my game of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I mean, I've got a video for you actually, Nathan. So I got to the end game, felt a bit directionless, and I found a really good video on YouTube which tells you what to do based on what level you are. So level 50 to 60, go to these areas. Level 60 to 70, go to these, and that really helped me. And I'm like level 90 now. I've got bills that can do like 11 million damage, and that's apparently like still nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting ass kicked by the later bosses in the tower. But yeah, I'll have to send that to you. Hopefully, I'll give you some end game fun if you decide to stick with it. So
Okay.
yeah, it's fantastic. Such a good game.
Such an amazing game.
Um,
Oh, by the way, did you see that they're like coming back out with like a steelbook edition? Like, I don't know if you got a chance to get the collector's edition, but they're going to be like dropping the steelbook again. The collector's edition is sold out again, but yeah, it's coming in like October, I think.
Well, keep an eye out. I need to get a physical copy, so even though
Same.
I did kick the habit on that. Adam, what have you been playing for the last week?
Not played much because Gamescom she be harsh mistress with news to cover. But in the small windows of opportunity, I didn't get to play any more Battlefield 6 over the 2 weeks. I played 2 games, went to Glasgow, and then didn't play it again, unfortunately. So I wanted my unlocks. I couldn't unlock them. So I've installed Battlefield 2042 so I can get the unlocks, because they released a free like battle pass for Battlefield 6. So you can unlock like 24 items in Battlefield 6 if you complete this free pass, which is pretty cool. And apparently it's done gangbusters for that game, just getting numbers back up, which is a smart move, really. So I'm going to play that. But what I have been playing is Mafia, the Old Country. Working through that. Really enjoying it. It's I said last time that the narrative is just really compelling. It's like the game is just really compelling narratively. Random, here's an open world, do whatever if you want to, but they don't tell you that it's there. Weird. Mario Kart world, we're looking at you. But the narrative is just like it starts to ramp up now. And I kept seeing people talk about like when it gets to a certain point and it just kicks it up, and you're like, oh, I'm there now. It's in the mess of it, and it's just like, oh, this is cool. It's very gritty, and you just want to keep playing and get to the next bit, and it's really satisfying because, like, I think some people have like complimented it in one way and complained about it in another, in the same thing about like the old school kind of feel of some of the gameplay, like, you know, the third person, like a classic 360 shooter, cover shooter type thing, and your accuracy isn't great, and like you have to kind of go up with your accuracy as you're steadying, which feels right, but like it's in 1900s Sicily. It's not, you're not talking precision weapons. There's a weapon called the Precisione, which is meant to be more accurate. I think you get your accuracy quicker. But even so, you're just a gangster, like holding a brand new thing from like you're not gonna be an arms expert, are you? So like it feels right that like you're a bit all over the place. And in the heat of the battle when they're shooting you and stuff, of course you're not gonna be bang. I think it really feels really good. So yeah, really enjoying it. I think I'm only like 2 or 3 chapters left. It's not a very long game, but I haven't had no time to play it. But yeah, could thoroughly recommend. I mean, I think I picked mine up. I think it's the RRP is about 50 quid, and I got it for 35, and it is absolutely worth it. There's plenty to do, and they're adding some free stuff as well, like a proper free ride mode, where they're gonna add some activities to the free world, the open world, which I don't think is there at the moment. Really, you can find collectibles that you can use to kind of give you story boosts, but they're not connected, so they're gonna add some like stuff in the future, but that's not there yet. But yeah, great, fully recommend. Really enjoyed it. Definitely up there as like from a narrative perspective, as it should be in contention for an award or something. It's just really cool. Like Yeah. Oh, no spoilers, obviously, because I'm not Nathan. But yeah, really cool. Like, the acting is phenomenal. The look of the actors and the characters and it's just great. Really good.
So wait, like as far as the open world part works, so basically as of right now, it is just narrative, linear. You can't really have the option to go out into the open world, but they're going to add it later.
So the open world is there, but it's not. You can't, like in GTA. Like, oh, you've got, like, in GTA on the map, you might have a mission.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll do that in 20 hours once I've collected all the flowers or whatever. You can't do that in Mafia. You go to the open after chapter 3. The open world is unlocked, and it's really weird because it doesn't tell you how to find it. You have to go. There's a menu in the main menu. There's a menu called Car Cyclopedia, and it's like an inventory of the cars you've collected so far. And you choose one of those to drive it, and when you pick to drive it, it puts you in the open world.
Okay.
And the open world there's no activity in the open world. Like, there's not like side missions or quests to do or races or whatever else. At the moment that's coming, but at the moment it's like explore what they've built, find collectibles, and if you get the collectibles, it unlocks boosts and buffs for the campaign. So you can find things like, you can find these kind of tokens that you sell to give you money to buy new weapons, new cars. Try and explore. If you try and walk away from an objective area, it goes, you've got 10 seconds to get back to the objective area. You can't just walk off. So but I kind of get it from the narrative perspective, because if you're starting to build tension and really ramp up the narrative and you want people to feel the urgency of it, the last thing you want is your lead protagonist to fuck off for 6 hours because he got on a collectibles high, like, which I would do. Like, oh well, I don't want the game to finish before I've got everything. Off I go. Like, no, it feels much more organic. So there are some collectibles you can only get in certain missions, but the game's really good at telling you. So on the map, it's got like a little yellow symbol, like you haven't got that, but it's only from that mission, so you can replay it and stuff like that. But yeah, I can get what they're doing, but the fact that they don't tell you where the open world is, it's just like, you have to know to drive the car. It's really odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
still,
hey, at least you're not breaking that immersion, right? I've gotta go. Yeah, you get kind of sidetracked.
Yeah. The primary thing is it's a narrative game, obviously. So it won't, like, play the story, crying out loud. I get that.
Good times. I've heard really good things. I've heard mixed things about some of the knife fights. That's one thing I've heard a bit of criticism about, but I think that kind of shorter game at the moment is exactly what I need in life. So, if you like £35, that sounds pretty bang on price wise.
Yeah, CD keys, £35, can't argue with that.
Yep.
I know what you mean about the knife fights. They're a bit. It's like a proper duel. So like it's about honor, isn't it? And so they kind of, the guy gets his knife out, and it's not just like a slash you're dead. It's like you've got a health bar and you've got to whittle away at it, and you can parry it and attack and stuff like that. And there's later on they get kind of more evolved. So your enemies you fight later on, they might throw sand in your face so you can't see as much, and then they go for the strike, and you can kind of make out what they're doing and stuff like that. So it's all right. It's not my favorite thing. It's not. I don't find it terrible, but there's an achievement for doing one of the knife fights without getting hit. I'm like, I'm sure that's going to piss me off. We'll see.
Well, I know you managed the 3 no-hit achievements on South of Midnight, which pissed me off no end. So I'm sure you got it in. Great stuff. So. Just a few things to say what I've been playing. To be honest, a lot of my time I've been trying to plow into multiplayer games, as I've got a significant life event about to happen, and that's going to mean very little gaming time with the boys. And finished off another evening on Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, that is, this evening with a win. So that was nice, and it's took about 3 or 4 weeks since the last one. So I've had some shit nights on COD recently. Let's just say.
Are you excited for the new one?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been kind of like...
That was not enough.
You don't have an hour to do more convincing if you want.
The one thing that I've not liked that I've heard is that they're cutting out veteran for campaign, which
Oh, yeah, I heard that
really
as well.
What?
so yeah, so it's going to be scalable level of difficulty depending on how many players you have in a party, because it's up to
Yeah.
4-player co-op. And I love like veteran COD, love it. It's just like a 6-10 hour blast for like, and I play it once a year. Never going to play it again, and I love playing it on veteran. It's challenging but not stupidly hard.
Yeah.
So it kind of really sucks they've got rid of that. It really sucks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll play quite a bit of the new one. I think me and the lads normally hop on every year. A couple of other things that I've had a dabble in this week, and are things that are really not me kind of games. So the first one I've played is the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a free Steam game that came out a couple of years ago, and my understanding is it started as an April Fool's joke, and they actually did release a game. And it's kind of Murder on the Orient Express, but with Sonic the Hedgehog characters. It's a couple of hours long, and you're kind of going through. It's really basic in terms of the gameplay and getting through. The writing in it is actually really quite good. There's humour, there's the good little story there, lots of twists and turns. And for a free game for like 2 hours long, then obviously I love Sonic, absolutely fucking love Sonic. So I was like, yeah, like this was great. This was exactly what I needed to play in bed of an evening, winding down. It's like reading a book, really. In many ways, it's a graphic novel. So yeah, if you chaps haven't played that and you like a bit of Sonic, like get on it. Won't cost you a penny. And I know a few people responded to me on Twitter when I said I was playing it, and said they had a great time too. So love games that don't cost us a dime. So that's been good.
Yeah.
And the other one, definitely check it out. And the other one that I've had a bit of a dabble in today, and I'm someone who moans no end about roguelikes. I have lots of distaste for roguelikes in that I have this opinion of them, which probably going to never really sits well with my friends that like them, in that I think they're kind of a bit lazy in that they turn a 30-minute game into a 50-hour grind, is my kind of opinion on them.
Yeah.
And I know that.
I agree with that. V is hating this right now.
I think
I love a roguelike, but I do agree.
So I've been in that space. I've played the new Rogue Prince of Persia, and it's actually decent. So that got like a shadow dropped on console. I think it was Tuesday this week. So I've had a couple of runs. Got to about the 4th or 5th stage, beat the first boss. Unlocked a few upgrades, which you can obviously carry on for your next runs, as per any Rogue kind of game. But I absolutely loved the Lost Crown that came out last year. That was that was probably my game of the year, I think, from last year. And just kind of have some of that really tight gameplay again. The movement in it is fantastic. It looks really good like art style. Bit like I didn't like Hades, and it's got that kind of talking to people all the time thing that bores me. So that's a bit of a negative for me, but I know some people like that shit. But yeah, you know what? I had a really good time, so I'm definitely going to play more of that, and I don't really care for roguelikes, so yeah.
That's saying something.
It kind of feels like Dead Cells.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because it's by the guys who did Dead Cells, isn't it? Yeah, been keeping my eye on that. I was hoping it was going to get a console release, and then it just dropped it. And they're like, oh yeah, and it's on Game Pass, and it's on PS Plus. Like, oh, okay. Take the game. Like, okay, I'll play it.
It's really good. So yeah, they're gonna have at least a few more runs on it. I don't think I'll be grinding out for the achievements. One of them is for doing 10 kilometers wall running, and that's going to take days of game time. So fuck that. But yeah, it's good. So really having a good time, and it's nice to play a few things different and attribute some of that to Game Pass subscriptions. So yeah, it's been a good time.
Awesome.
A good time.
That's awesome.
Amazing. What a great variety of games there.
Yeah,
a real good
seriously.
mix. I like it.
Yeah, the things, just anything that I can play for 30 minutes at the moment is kind of perfect for me. But yeah, less of the big games at the minute. Anyway, boys, we've had some really big news this week that we need to get into, don't we? and we're going to have a chat about Gamescom. Of course, that's been the big event of the week. But I think we want to start by talking about today's probably biggest news, which is that Silksong is not actually a myth after all, and is indeed coming out. And we have a release date of September the 4th. So, yeah, the internet seems pretty bloody happy about that. And how do we feel about Silksong, boys? I think Adam, you've played quite a bit of Hollow Knight, I think, in the past. You were saying.
No, I played like an hour of Hollow Knight, and I got to, I think, to what maybe the first boss, and it destroyed me. And I was like, at the time, I was getting distracted by other things, so I just played other things. But I really like the concept of it, and I just need to spend some time and go back to it. And now with a 2-week deadline, I may well go back and just play the first Hollow Knight. And it looks, I mean, I love the art style. It looks really kind of endearing, and just. Well, yeah, I love what they've. I watched the trailer for the new one, and it looks super fun. 40 bosses, 200 enemies. It just sounds like they've gone full blown. Because when they announced the second one, I think Jason Schreier with Bloomberg had done some work, like an interview with them about like, what the hell, guys? Why is it taking so long? And they were like, oh no, well, the first one did gangbusters, so we had loads of money, so we just made the game we wanted to make and went all out. We're like, oh, fair fucking play, like, go for it, man. Like, so I'm really excited to see it, and the fact that it's been 6 years. Obviously, COVID is a thing in between that thing, and that did so much to development of games. I think it still is now, and I don't think people clock that anymore because they think it's done and done. So like, oh, we've got to stop blaming COVID for stuff. Like the repercussions of that are still a thing. So, but like the fact that they're like they waited to like one of my favorite releases. Like I always refer to Fallout 4. Like they announced Fallout 4, and 6 months later, you even less. You were playing it now. Like do that more, and like okay, we've just like maybe give us more information, and it might come, who knows. And every single showcase season it's like maybe this time, maybe this. So it's great that they've just gone, oh yeah, 2 weeks, see you in 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, that's mad. But like I guess they've just been, it's kind of because my thought was, well, they're not got time to do any marketing, but it's been marketed for 6 years because people won't shut up about it. So like people aren't like, oh, is there a game coming out called Knight Silksong? Like they know it's coming, and it's on everything as well, isn't it? It's on absolutely everything, every console, previous gen and this gen. So like, and it's on Game Pass, so like everybody will be jumping on that, and in fair play because even if you won't play that game, you're gonna be downloading and playing because you're gonna be curious now because the internet's blown up about it, I'm sure. So yeah, fair play. That I mean, they were just making the game they wanted to make, and there was no turmoil, which is great to hear. But I'm just excited I am excited for everyone. I'm excited for everyone who's really looked forward to it. And I'm excited to play it because I've been drawn into the hype of it now.
What about you, Nathan? So I think before we came on air, you said that you hadn't played the original, but is Metroidvania not really your cup of tea? Do you think you'll be giving Silksong a go at all?
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be giving it a go at all. Maybe just because it's on Game Pass. Maybe it's a thing where I try to give it a shot. You know, if you ever listen to Candy on the Girl Pod, it's that she's really inspired me to give more games more of a shot, if that makes sense, because even if she doesn't like a game, she'll still finish it and then come up with her final thoughts on that kind of game, or if she'll stick with it. And I used to be that way back in the day, and I become less so as I've gotten older. So I definitely would like to give it a shot because, like Adam, I'm just really excited for everybody. Not as excited as I am for my fantasy critic lineup, but yeah, it's that thing of kind of like Elden Ring. Like, even those of you who weren't like into Elden Ring, it's just like, this is awesome for us as gamers in the community, just to sit there and everybody's so excited. There's positivity in the air. It's like it's become a meme that this thing is not going to happen, and now it's actually happening. And I just love seeing everybody in the chat, in Discord and online, just freaking lose their minds. So I'm very excited for everybody. I would definitely love to give it a shot because I mean I do love Souls-like games. But I just, yeah, I haven't really been able to get on board with the Metroidvania style type things. Even with like Metroid Dread, looked like it was up my alley. I'm like, this gameplay loops looks really fun, but man, like to die, like kind of need to go back and re-explore areas that's where it lost me. I played the first Hollow Knight for just a tiny bit, and that's where it was losing me too. Was, oh, I gotta go back and re-kill all the same people, and then I also kind of fall off when it comes to puzzle heavy stuff, and I felt like Hollow Knight was definitely a little puzzle heavy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't give the game enough shot. So, but yeah, no, I'm just very excited for everybody.
I love Metroid Dread. It was so good.
Yeah.
That was my first 2D Metroid, and it was just amazing. And I love Metroidvanias, but like I have never played a 2D Metroid apart from that one. But I love Metroid Prime and other ones that are in that genre. Just super fun. I know what you mean though. Like you got to figure out what bit do I need to get through this door or whatever else. And it's yeah, I get that. The exploration can be annoying, or the thing that's really obvious once you know it. Well, like, oh, that little bump in the roof. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing, and now it's a thing. It's obvious now. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes a little bit back to like kind of what Mark was saying about roguelites. And in my mind, both of them are just so similar because it is like, okay, here's the same area. It's just a little portion of the game, but I'm spending so much time in it because I'm having to re-kill all the same people over again.
You said that right now, but you said you love Souls likes. Like it's literally that.
Yeah, that's
Look at the
true.
bonfire.
That's
Back. How long you spent on Dead Berg just killing things to get leveled up? Like, come on.
That is very true. Honestly, that's a good call out because I mean, I spent hours just leveling up and farming kills. So, yeah, it's funny how like you don't really connect those dots when you're looking at different genres. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
By you, Mark.
I cannot wait. I put a good probably 40 hours or so into Hollow Knight, I would say. Absolutely didn't do everything in it. I admit, except I took the L. I couldn't do it. It's so bloody hard towards the end game. And then some of the boss rushes towards the late game are so ridiculously hard. But it honestly, it's probably the best Metroidvania I think I've ever played. The worlds that you go into, it's just so incredibly well crafted. It looks gorgeous, even though it's kind of dark and sinister. The whole tone of it is that hollow kind of feel. The combat's really good as well, so you can have a little like custom builds and get your own attack move sets. The enemy variety is insane. One of you just said about 200 enemies for the new one. It felt I don't think there would have been that many in the original, but the boss variety was just incredible. Everything was just different fights. It felt like a bit of a Souls game, and that was before I played Souls games. So it's definitely got those Souls-like elements. But the one thing that really sets Metroidvanias apart for me is the traversal, and the traversal in Hollow Knight was just perfect, just so perfect. Everything worked well. You could get around nice and easy, like sharp movements and like dashes, jumps. Words not coming out properly. Just works so well. And I absolutely love it. I can't wait for the new one. It probably is my favorite Metroidvania of all time, and I think that's probably the same for a lot of people too. I think it's awesome, so bloody good. And Adam, you said about the new one releasing day one in Game Pass, but I had a look earlier today, and the original is in Game Pass still and on PlayStation Plus too. So if people want to check out the original before Silksong's out in just over 2 weeks, then there's a way to play. And fair play to somebody who gets through Hollow Knight by the time Silksong's out. I think you might burn out by that time, but it is absolutely fantastic. And if you get time, boys, it's well worth the time. So yeah.
And it's September 4th, so correct?
Yes.
Oh yes. I was contemplating picking up Black Myth Wukong because I'm about to have a bit of time off work. I'm probably just not going to bother now. Clear a couple of backlog things and wait for Silksong. Save myself 65 quid.
I was going to, but I don't want to make Nathan happy, so I'm not going to do it.
No! You guys are trying to torture me. Oh, what an amazing game. So I'll derail us if I get talking about Black Myth Wukong.
Move on.
But before we get too derailed, let's jump into the next segment we have today is around Gamescom. And obviously, Adam, you've been smashing it with the showcase coverage, and we've had so much going out on the sites trying to cover just about all the news that we can. Obviously, that's almost an impossible job. There is so much going on in Gamescom. But have you found the showcases, Adam, compared to kind of big summer season that we had back in June? How you found this one?
I mean, there's less of them. Always welcome. But there's still quite a few. I don't know that Future Games Show needs 3. But here we are. But the opening night live was long. But so the Xbox ones, Xbox did 2. I mean, fair enough. And I get why they've done 2 now that I've seen them. Because at first of you've only got 18, 19 games in each day because they announced the lineup ahead of time, bar any surprises and stuff. And I'm like, well, why have you done that? And it's because there's quite a lot of time given to some of those. They're not just here's a trailer, off we go. They're doing the kind of, it's like a combined thing with the dev directs that at the start of the year, where they go to a deep dive with the dev, but that extended over 3 hours maybe. There's if you remember the idea Xbox showcases when they were 3 hours long, but it was mainly just trailers, and it's too much. It's kind of like the dev direct, but less busy. So it's maybe 18, 19 games. Some of it's just trailers, and some it's we've got Tim Schafer to talk about Keeper, and he's gonna a proper interview, so you get to learn some of what Double Fine are up to, are they going next. They don't tell you what it is, but they have got other things in mind and stuff like that. So it's really nice to get, because they're all there at Gamescom, so it's actually make use of the people there. So I kind of get what they're going for there, so I don't hate it. It makes it easy to cover because I don't have to try and think what was the 4 things they've just shown in 30 seconds. It's okay, I've got time in the 15 minutes from now until the next thing to kind of that was High on Life 2, but whatever else. So no, they've been good. I really I still really big props to the Future Games Show because they do showcases really well, and they're still quite new. I feel like they're still quite new, even though they've been going for a few years now. But I really like their showcases because they're very clear. They put the trailers up straight away. In order. Can't say how helpful that is. But they're when they put the montages out, the montages have the names. They're not here's 50 games in 30 seconds. And they also put the montage trailer up, and they also do they kind of have a wants to watch highlights. They give them here's 3 games throughout the show that we think are really kind of you want to play this. And I really like that. So they're really cool. So I think it was hosted by David Hayter and Maggie Robertson, who play Solid Snake and Lady Dimitrescu, not simultaneously, respectively. So that was cool. To that's an interesting game. Someone make that. But yeah, no, that was good, and I think they were hosted really well. Some of the hosting is quite cringy. We go back to PC Game Show in it was awful. Guys, come on, they couldn't have the time. It was cringy, but it was quite funny because they had even when they doing skits, it wasn't cringy. They had a snake box next to Lady Dimitrescu, and she just kicks it, and you hear him going making tropes at each other and stuff like that. It's quite fun. But yeah, lots of good games though. Lots of good games. It didn't feel too much. Opening that live felt like there was quite a lot. That is what Jeff Keighley does though. But plenty to look at, and I quite like that it wasn't something I wasn't. Here's a billion AAA games. It was kind of it felt like it was quite a good mix of smaller titles, double A's, that sort of thing. It felt like a good mix. So yeah, plenty to kind of get your teeth into, and do check the site for summer showcases. I've got a couple still to do. There was a Level Infinite indie one yesterday as well, which is quite short, but it had a look at June and some other stuff, and it's quite fun what they do with theirs because like in a game, there's a lot of tech behind it, and they even did a behind the scenes about how we make our showcase. It was quite fun. And then there's been another indie one today, as well as the second day of Xbox. So there's plenty to go on have a look at. But there's been a billion announcements in and around it all as well. So like, it's kind of like the thing that I complained about Summer Game Fest. Don't jump on the hype of Gamescom because your announcement might get buried with everything else. Wait a week when it's all died down. No one will be paying attention to anything apart from what you announce. Like, you don't need to announce something slap bang unless you're trying to hide something, Sony. Like, oh no, you didn't notice our price rises because it's all buried in the Gamescom news. What a shame. Like that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, good though. I like it. I'm interested. I'm excited to see what Harry and V pick up from their time on the show floor. But seeing all of the kind of the showcases and stuff was really good. And I like that they bring like Xbox bringing stuff to you as well, because they could have those just in Gamescom, couldn't they? But broadcasting them is quite nice. So yeah.
So with all these showcases, like this kind of structure, I almost hate to call it even showcases, but you like the format of what they're going for as far as like in the Xbox showcases?
Well, it's like I really praised in the editorial I did recently. I really praised the Dev Directs, the Xbox Two. They took a long time to get the format that works, and that kind of an hour, maybe not even that, with 4 or 5 games with a closer look at each title is really nice because it showcases the dev, it showcases what they're trying to achieve. You're getting more out of it than just here's a minute-long trailer, learn everything you can from that trailer. They're talking to you about the choices, why they've gone that way, what they're excited about. And it's really cool to see them excitedly talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. People don't have 3 hours to watch a full showcase. Sure. But that's one of the reasons we do the summary articles, because I know that my character's frozen on my screen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Right.
I didn't want to. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so like I know that, but if we put in our summary the video, and you're really interested in Keeper, for example, because Tim Schafer's a really cool guy, and it's really cool to listen to him talk about what Double Fine are up to, and that game looks amazing, like a lighthouse that's sentient. Okay, like you can watch just that snippet, but like you can do it at your own pace, like having to sit down and scroll through and see if you've got to the right bit and the bits in between and all that sort of stuff. You can pick what you want. So like I would recommend doing it. But obviously if you don't want to watch a 20-minute talk with Tim Schafer, just watch the trailer. It's fine as well.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I like that they you've got the option there. But the problem, and this is where my argument for the summary showcases come in. Like, we're giving you the option to watch it in your own time. Like, you could go find it yourself, but if you don't know what's out there, you can't find it. But if you want to know what was happening at the broadcast, here's a list. It's all in one place, and wherever we can, we've put all the relevant videos, the interviews or the trailers or whatever. So then you pick what you want to watch based on what you're interested in. Because if somebody goes to you and goes, here's a 3-hour showcase, do you want to watch it? You're like, I don't really have time for that.
Yeah. So, specifically, like Dying Light the Beast, did you watch that whole tidbit about? I know you're very excited for that game.
I am very much looking forward to it, and I didn't watch it because I don't want to spoil too much of it.
So, like, it's just interesting. I like hearing you talk about it because it sounds like you've had like a little bit of a different experience than I had with it when I was watching it yesterday. Because when I was watching it, around the time they started showing Dying Light the Beast, that's when I was like, okay, I gotta call it quits. I can't keep staying up. I ended up going off like 5 hours of sleep or something like that. But like, yeah, I'm listening to them talk about this, and this should be the kind of thing that is directed towards us, right? Like, we are the target audience for Gamescom. And I just felt like while I'm listening to them talk about Grounded 2, while I'm listening to them talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm not feeling any excitement, I guess, towards these games based off of what they're talking about, because as I found it odd that I'm like, they're not even, I don't even recall them saying, oh, hey, welcome, I'm here to talk with XO. It's like, oh, here's the developers. I'm like, okay, what's their names? And like, I would like to know the names, who's talking, what role do they play in making this game, things of that nature. And then when they actually started talking about the games, it was like, even with the Grounded 2 information, it like took a while before they clarified, here's the new thing that's coming to the game. And because they jumped straight into talking about oh, my favorite ride is a spider and all stuff like that. Like, that stuff's interesting if, again, like you said, if you're into Grounded 2 or stuff. But then it's like you jump over to the Dying Light 2, the Beast or whatever, and I kid you not, and this is an actual quote. He was like, these are ways to make, it's going to be very bloody, and then you cut off the limbs and there's a lot of blood, and then you cut off the head, and we wanted to make sure that there was a lot of blood, and it's very PG-13 in comparison to the first game, which was, had a lot of blood, but not as much blood as this one. And I'm like, dude, you've been talking about blood for 5 minutes. Let's stop. I mean, you're not offering insight. Like, I'm not gaining anything by hearing you talk about blood for 5 minutes. I want to hear, okay, like, what's the effects you've added? Like, okay, I see on the screen the blood, but like, go into the nerdy details about what it took to make that happen rather than just simply stating there's blood. I was just like, I don't know. I found some of the stuff just kind of losing my interest, even though I cared, which was odd considering I'm the target audience. You know what I mean?
It's tricky. It's tricky because unless they had because I think that's one of the reasons they put out this is what we're showing, because like they said, this is what to expect. There's going to be Microsoft Flight Simulator, but the problem is you don't know the order. You don't know how long they're talking about these things, and unless they had but they'd have to be really strict then. Like if they were having just a casual conversation with Tim Schafer and he's giving you some incredible insight, and you run over the 15 minutes you've got, and you just cut him off.
Yep.
You're like, well, is that the show we want? Like, but oh well, we've got to talk about whatever's next. And you're like, it's it's tricky balance, isn't it? But like, I feel like there should be more of a coming up next on the screen. So at least you're like, oh, I can go away for 10 minutes or whatever and come back. Like, give you some sort of indication. Yeah, it's tricky. It's hard to get right. And also that thing about the keeping it interesting. Unfortunately, not everyone who makes games are salespeople.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna be able to sell you a game. They've not had the experience of, I always feel sorry for those really nervous European guys who bring on stage during E3, and you could tell that they're just shaking and they're like, why that guy do it? Like, I know he's the guy who made the game, but like, come on, be nice.
Yeah, I think it's been a really interesting week, and I think thanks to some of the things that you wrote about in your article on the website last week, Adam, around kind of the showcase volume, I think that this was a nicer amount. Like around Summer Games Fest, it was just insane, and I feel like that there's been some good coverage that these last few days. Sorry, there seems to have been probably less new announcements than over the summer. There's been kind of more meat on the bone for things that were announced, which I think is probably nicer for us in a way to cover, because we've got something we know about, whereas in the summer 10 things were getting announced every 15 minutes and were lost to the ether before they were even a known entity. So it's just been nice to get more meat on the bone. I don't know about you guys, the way I watch showcases is that if there's a game that I know that I'm going to buy, like Resident Evil Requiem, it's just it's not a decision for me to make. It's going to get bought. I don't watch that segment of the showcase because I don't want to see anything of what's going to be in that game. And same for Little Nightmares 3, definitely getting that. But have avoided any footage like the Plague because I don't want to see a darn thing about it. Whereas the other games that I've kind of took an interest in this last week, like Silent Hill F, I've never played a Silent Hill game for more than 20 minutes. So, but actually spending the time now watching the showcase kind of opens more games to me. But I try and avoid everything that kind of I know I'm going to buy, except for COD, because you don't really care for spoilers in COD. But yeah.
You'd like to think that there wouldn't be anything like, I suppose it depends on what you don't want spoiling, I suppose, in when you're trying to avoid things. Like, even like the gameplay trailer of Little Nightmares 3 that was shown over the last couple of days. Like, for me, obviously, they don't give any spoilers in terms of story, but if you don't want to see them working through a particular level or give away an environment or something like that, I get that. Unfortunately, because quite often cover showcases, I don't get that luxury. You see everything. You will see everything.
You just come here for your weekly dose of spoilers.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, boys, we're running kind of well on time, but I think maybe just on Gamescom we can. Yeah, so maybe we can spend just the next kind of couple of minutes each, a couple of times, go around a couple of games we want to highlight each. So I'm happy to kick off of things that we've seen from the last week. And the first one that I'm going to jump in, where did I put my note? Actually, what we do, the boss has requested that we do plug a game called Tropico 7, which apparently 3 people played the first 6 of. So just need to confirm that's been announced.
It's the biggest game from this week. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Don't really know. Thing about Tropico. I have to ask Dano, who runs the site, what it actually is all about. I thought it was a Civ-like, but apparently wide of the mark with that.
I actually do know a tiny bit about Tropico. It is actually a lot of fun. I will say, if it's coming to Game Pass, it's worth trying out for a little bit. Like, you don't download it, just hop on cloud gaming, give it one run, see how you like it. But yeah, you're a dictator, and it's kind of Civ-like in the sense of, you got these buildings, you need to build it up, but it's fun. It's fun. You can essentially run your dictatorship into the ground and have a very short game. So your match could last for 3 to 4 hours, or it could be 30 minutes. So yeah, interesting game.
Interesting. Again, for the 3 people that paid the first 6, so good times. I'm gonna get fired for that. First one I'm going. The first one I'm going to jump in and highlight, I think, for me, is Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice, I'm getting that right? Ivalice Chronicles. I keep forgetting the pseudonym. I've never played Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's one of those games that you hear about all the time from back in the PS1, I'm going to say, era when it was released, as being like the ultimate tactics game. And I do really quite like tactics games. They're something I've grown to really enjoy over the last few years. And this being one that's kind of, known to be one of the best ever made, and having a whole new remake with with developments on classes, gameplay. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to. And because that's now coming to everything as well. So that's coming to Xbox, which Final Fantasy coming day 1 to Xbox is amazing. That's been a long lost thing for a while. But coming to Switch 2, obviously PlayStation consoles as well. But yeah, I think that's looking really, really sharp. And again, there are so many games from back in the day that you don't get to play, and I think it's really good that we're seeing so many remasters and remakes at the moment. I think kind of Xbox One era, there was an era of shit remakes and remasters, but I think they've really turned it up. Turned up the dial, especially the Japanese ones with Capcom and some of the things that Square have put out over the last kind of half a decade or so. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. Nathan, what's your first pick?
Batman. Lego Batman Legacy. Oh my gosh. I am so beyond freaking stoked. That one of the tidbits that I saw post reveal was them IGN did an interview with some of the developers, and they were asking like, what are the characters? What references can we see? And one of the things that stood out to me the most, I'm not going to go through all of them, but like one of the ones that stood out to me the most was they're like, what about Jason Bateman? Have you guys seen the State Farm advertisement of Jason Bateman as Bateman or whatever he like cosplays as Batman or whatever? Like, they were like, are we going to see Jason Bateman in the game? And he was like, no comment. And like, he like really made it like, I was like, oh, they are taking every single Batman reference surrounding Batman ever and implementing this into the game. And from some of the hands-on previews, and I really, really hope that Harrier V gets a chance to like check it out while they're at Gamescom. But I'm such a big fan of the Arkham Origins, Cities, Asylum. Those games made me the gamer I am. You know, I always, at all times, have a Batman game installed on a console because I never know when that inspiration is going to kick in for me to just hop in, do some arcade matches, and just get a few swings in there. So to see all these hands-on previews with the game and see that see that people are talking about this game feeling a lot like an Arkham game, I'm just so unbelievably stoked. Batman's my favorite comic book characters, aside from, maybe Slade, or Deathstroke or whatever. And, I let's see. Yeah. To see the 3 movies kind of make an appearance. It's not just, I think when I first saw the trailer, you kind of get the vibe that, okay, they're just going for like the Nolan trilogy, and then you're like, oh, they're also implementing the new Batman movie. But it goes as deep as Jason Bateman. It goes as deep as Condiment Man. It goes as deep as Adams West's Batman. Taking everything Batman and just a giant love letter to Batman and the form of Astrobot meets Batman Arkham City. And I'm here for it. It is the thing that, and what's funny is like a couple weeks ago we were just talking on the party chat about Lego games and how so many of them are just reskins of the most recent game, and you can kind of see where it's like, I like the direction they're heading in and they're thinking. No, Lego Horizons didn't do well, it didn't sell well, it wasn't received well, but the idea behind taking a game that we're familiar with and then kind of reskinning it into a different form and adding their own spin on it. Basically kind of giving you like, hey, I know you're a fan of this game, but here's a different flavor of that. I think it's a good idea. I like that idea, and I like that they're going in that direction with the Batman Arkham Legos or whatever. So I would be curious to see like where else they go with that. But yeah, that's definitely the most anticipated game I've seen so far.
The most important detail that you've missed out is Matt Berry is Bane. So
Matt Berry? Who's
Matt Berry?
I missed that.
From What We Do in the Shadows. What We Did in the Shadows. He's a bit of a legend in the UK.
Okay.
He's a comic actor. He's got an amazing voice. So yeah, he's Bane.
That's awesome.
Game of the Year.
That's awesome.
I've totally missed that. I've watched some of the showcases with no sound on while I've been eating dinner this week. So, yeah, I've totally missed that. Oh, brilliant. That's so good. And I think some of the community, because obviously there's the Lego game's got a huge following, and it seems like the reception to some of the more recent ones has been a bit mid, to say it best. So yeah, there seems to be quite a lot of hype around the new Batman. So happy days. That's looking really, really good. Adam, give us your first pick.
For me, it's La Divina Commedia, which is I think it's a Souls-like. Anyway, it's by Jayama Games, who did Inotri The Last Song, which was a personal highlight from some games last year. It was one of my favourite games last year. And that was a Souls-like that was kind of based in Italian folklore around like acting and theatre and stuff like that. And it had very bright and sunny vistas and stuff like that. So it was really cool. This is their next game, and the trailer just looks wild. But it's based on Dante's Divine Comedy. So it's like Welcome Back Dante's Inferno type vibes. So lots of fighting through circles of hell, and the trailer's really cool. You're fighting this kind of like what looks like it's made out of wicker, this kind of beast that's crawling around, and he's just slashing it. It looks very cool. But yeah, it looks smart, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I think it's coming out on PC and console, which I'm very happy about because sometimes games let you like only come on PC, and that sucks. As a console gamer, largely. But yeah, that's my first one. Looks ace. But if you haven't played Anutra, check out my review, 1, and 2, play the damn game. It's so good.
I remember you raving about that a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah,
It's such a good film, like it's amazing. Like you throw on you put on masks and it gives you like your loadout is like the mask that you're wearing, so that the mask gives you different abilities and stuff like that. To like take on the enemies, and it's just so cool. Like they've really embodied the vibe of it, and there's an elemental system. It's just super fun. It's just really well made. So fully recommend that. Absolutely.
Good times. Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of.
Play, sure, but play that as well.
I have installed Liza P the last few days. I don't know when it's going to start, but I have installed it. The disc is in. It's ready to go.
hallelujah.
Good, man. So
I share the same. Share the same love for Liza P as Adam. Oh my gosh, such an amazing game.
incredible game. Absolutely.
It will happen. I promise. I know. I need to play it. Second pick for me, and if I'm honest, I don't think it was the best showing that we've seen of the game so far. But I'm just going to keep plugging it as the resident Brummie of the show. And I know that Harry is trying to get hands on at Gamescom, but it is God Save Birmingham. So Nathan, I have to fill you in here. Brummie is somebody from Birmingham, and you've probably never heard of Birmingham.
Nope.
And it's the second largest city in the UK, which says everything. Nobody outside the UK has heard of Birmingham. So 1 million people live here, and that probably doesn't sound like many to you, but to us, that's quite a big place.
Yeah.
So God Save Birmingham is a medieval survival game, and survival's not really my bag, if I'm honest, but it's kind of set around medieval Birmingham, and there's a bit of an undead kind of takeover of the city, so like a plague's taken over, and you've got to build your medieval market town to survive. I think the kind of the trailer that was shown at the Future Games Fest was a little bit weak, if I'm honest. I think some of the combat could look with a bit more improvement, but I think the whole kind of the vibe of the game, the setting, and obviously as a Birmingham native, thankfully it doesn't look like this anymore. Well, some districts probably do, but there are. I think it's going to be a really, really good one to watch. It's coming to PC initially. There's going to be an early access launch, I think sometime by the end of the year. And then the devs really want to work with the community to get it up to where it wants to be for a full launch. And I think that's a really positive thing that we see a lot of PC game developers do. So hopefully we'll see it on on consoles in due course as well. But there's some good gore, some good crafting, good survival, and looks like it's going to be a good time. So, God Save Birmingham video game, God Save Birmingham in real life, to be honest. Anyway, let's come back to Nathan for his second pick.
Second pick. I want to say Resident Evil Requiem, because come on, it's got to be Resident Evil Requiem. I'm very excited. I listened to some previews about the game. I know it's not a lesser known game. I would like to be sitting here highlighting lesser known games, but man, I am so freaking stoked for this game. Based off of what all the previews are saying, it is going to be the perfect in between for. Listen, I played every Resident Evil game aside from maybe like the very, very first one. I've even played a lot of the spin-offs and stuff, and I have never really classified the game as something that's like, when I think of horror, I think of Dead Space. When I think of Resident Evil, I think of more of like a dark, gritty action adventure as opposed to horror. Like, I've never been scared, unless you're talking about Resident Evil 2 remake, where you're like, oh man, he's right on my back, and like it's kind of more of like a tense thing rather than it is like I'm scared. Um, but you know, Resident Evil 7 though, like actually had me pissing myself. Like that game, scary. You know, Resident Evil 8 was a little bit at two. I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a big fan, and I'll just leave it at that. But with Resident Evil 9 and what they're doing with the first person switching to third person, and one of the things that really stood out to me from the previews was when you are in third person, you can like trip and fall, and you are like the character. I'm wanting to say her name is Sarah, but I don't think that's right. But like she's like constantly like looking behind her, being chased. There's like a totally different vibe and a totally different element to third person. And based off of some of the previews I'm seeing, people are saying they have that same feeling of, you know, I'm a little less scared in third person. It kind of harkens back a little bit to the action packed versus the horror element. But then the stuff that I have seen of the first person, I'm kind of with you, Mark. I kind of wish I hadn't seen it because holy shit, that what I've seen so far is terrifying, and it does remind me of Resident Evil 7. As far as like the fear and the there's also going to be a mode where it swaps back and forth between the two camera modes, so you can kind of have a more developer curated version to where it auto swaps, or you can just go to the menu and be like, I just want to play the game in first person, or I just want to play it in third. You got 3 options there. So I think that's very cool. I think I'm probably going to go for the curated because I don't mind the first person. I liked 7 for what it was, and I liked the originals for what they were. So I think that I'm going to end up going with the curated version, and I'm just so beyond excited for this to see that you're going to take that action oriented, like, oh my gosh, he's right on my back, mix that with the Resident Evil 7, like, you're also going to have that fear that, oh my gosh, the monster's right on my back, and also you're pissing yourself because if you look back, it's going to be that terrifying to have this protagonist that is like just as scared as you are, and not this like well put together, confident protagonist that like, give me a rocket launcher, I've got unlimited ammo, and then boom, boom, boom. I'm just very.
It's rock.
What is it?
Let me punch this rock.
Yeah, let me punch this rock, and yeah, exactly. So it's really going to be a refreshing new take for the franchise. And when I say new take, I don't mean brand new. I mean like they're taking everything that's ever worked and making like the ultimate Resident Evil game. So I'm just so beyond excited about that. I've been dying to talk about it all week. That's going to be great.
It looks so good, and I mean anything that kind of brings. I agree with you. I think 7 was better than 8. I think the remakes of 2 and 4, and to a lesser extent, but still very good, 3. The Resident Evil and just Capcom in general at the minute, they can't not do bangers. And I think everything is building up for Requiem being the shit. And yeah, I did actually catch 20 seconds of that. The trailer you're saying, and I was like, I was so annoyed that I'd seen something, and I right. know what they did. It came up on my Twitter feed, and I'm so annoyed that I've seen the beast now. But anyway, dear, yeah, it's looking so good. So yeah, look forward to exchanging notes with you on that when it's out in February, isn't it?
Should be a good guide, beast. All those puzzles, man.
Bring it on. I'm sure we'll have guys on the site.
Oh yeah.
Adam, give us your last pick.
One that awakened a nostalgia tick in my brain. Actually, it was during the Future Game Show, and it was Wild Blue. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's coming. It's only on PC at the moment, and I hope it comes to console. But essentially, it's Lilac Wars, which in Europe it's called Lilac Wars. In America, Star Fox 64. And it's just like. It is inspired by that. The look of it, the ships look very similar. It's the targeting systems and all that sort of stuff. It's just one of my favorite. I remember when I got my N64, I got Mario 64. It was Christmas, And then and my birthday's a month later, so I think what the parents did was they got a package, they got a bundle with Lilac Wars as well. And for my birthday, I got Lilac Wars. So like, because it's a month later, so I started off with Mario 64 and then Lilac Wars, and just had such an amazing time. Didn't know anything about the game. Wasn't like clued in with stuff going on. Didn't have a SNES. So never played Star Fox to begin with. So like just experiencing that and playing through it and just seeing them kind of like it's like a spiritual successor to Star Fox 64. And it's just super cool. So I would recommend checking it out. It just looks like that nostalgia hit. But with like a whole new cast of characters, animal characters, and they're all like they look like cartoon anime. Like the kind of opening credits trailer thingy is really cool. Like a big bull with a nose ring and all that sort of stuff. It's got its own character design. It's got its own like character, but yeah, very much feels like a Star Fox 64 game, and I'm very excited for it. I might even play it on PC. Christ. With a
Heresy.
controller, obviously. I'm not a heathen.
Make sure you do a barrel roll. Make sure you do a barrel roll.
Always. I love that when they added that to Google and you just type in do a barrel roll and the screen does a barrel roll.
I actually didn't know that. That's awesome.
I wonder if it still does that. I'm going to do it.
Do it on your run, Nathan. You might turn the podcast upside down.
Right? It still does it? That's incredible.
Go to Google and just type in do a barrel roll into the search bar.
That's
Still does it.
amazing.
Go do it.
Oh, so good. Adam, did that? I'm sure I've just looked because all my N64 games are above me. And I don't have Lilac Wars. I think I did it at some point. Did it come in a big box with a Rumble pack?
Yes.
I thought it did. No, it's not up there. I thought I had it.
Huge. That box was huge. It had no business being that big for what it contained. Like, come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. So much cardboard. So much cardboard.
So much cardboard.
Well, I think obviously coming out of probably the final showcase season of the year, obviously we're going to have the Game Awards in, indeed. The Game Awards come just before Christmas, so it's been a really busy time, a really busy year, kind of summer and late summer for showcases. So much to look forward to, so many games coming out. I think the industry continues to eat itself alive. It's something I talk about all the time on the podcast. I can't fathom how people can expect, these developers can expect us to play all this shit.
I know.
I wish we could, but we're spoiled for choice, and thankfully there's always something new for us to play. Yeah, I spend most of my time playing stuff that's free to play, so that's shame on me. Shame on me.
Play what you love, right?
I do buy my games. Exactly. That's what it's all about, right?
At least some of these developers are catching on to the fact, like, oh, we need to kind of get out of the way, let some of the other people breathe. I don't know about Microsoft. Sometimes they just, like, kind of shoot themselves in the foot with some of their releasing, but oh well. Who knows? Maybe we'll be talking about Microsoft the way we talk about weird Nintendo decisions. I don't know. Doubt it.
When I do weekly game launch, which is an article we do which highlights the games that are coming out in the following week, and I think that normally, well, been doing it quite a while, and I would expect, I think last year the summer ones weren't too bad. This year there was 1 week where there was like, oh, that was a more manageable thing. It didn't take me 4 hours to write. Like, and then like straight after I put like 1 week, it was like, yay, a breather. Then there was like 50 games the next week. I'm like, guys, come on, seriously, give it a breather. The problem is because I like apart from sports games and like fighting games because I suck at them. I play pretty much everything. Don't like survival so much, but like I'm so interested in so many games. Like that's on me as well because like I should just be into. I always complain about the people who just play FIFA or COD like exclusively. They buy a new console just to play those games. Like I should just probably be one of them. Like I'm only gonna play Call of Duty. That's the only game I'll play for a year. Like what a life that must be. Simplicity.
You calling me simple? You calling me simple?
No. There's beauty in simplicity. Because life isn't complicated then.
It's true.
Oh dear. Well, I think that's been showcase season, everyone. Obviously, we will look forward to following up on all these games as they start to trickle out towards the fall. Obviously, big highlights being Battlefield, Call of Duty, and loads of wonderful looking indies, starting with Silksong in just a couple of weeks. And then the early part of the new year is stacked with Resident Evil, and so much more to follow. So it's going to be a nuts year for games over the next 6 to 12 months, notwithstanding a certain game by Rockstar. Anyway, let's move on.
I reckon that's September. I called it last time. I don't think it's coming out in May. I think it's coming out in like October next year.
Yeah.
Line it up for Christmas. I reckon they'll get delayed again.
Yeah.
I died on the 25th. You got me wrong on that. So. I think we've probably just got time just to touch one more small news story this week, because we're probably running pretty close to time already. So one thing we did want to pick up was the news that Bioshock 4 seems to have been in some kind of development hell. It's failed some internal playtests. The shareholders appear to be unsatisfied with the game. There's been lots of layoffs at at 2K, and it's just yet another round of layoffs, and we talk about those so frequently on this show, and it's never something we want to talk about. But it appears that a lot of people have been made redundant at the studio in the last few days. But obviously, it's been an awful long time since Bioshock Infinite, and I think it was 2013 or maybe 2012, the last one or the other.
I think
Hey, special guest of the show.
Yeah, my son likes to come on sometimes and try to get his face on the camera. Wave hi, Bubba.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. But we speak a bit funny over here, so you're probably wondering what the hell we're saying.
He's telling you about Miles. He's obsessed with Spider-Man.
Nice.
I can see something. Daddy's got Spider-Man in the background.
Yeah. He likes to point out Venom, Spider-Man, Miles, and I also got a couple Funko Pops he likes to break into. So yeah.
Go wild, little man. But yes, so the news, of course, is around the layoffs at 2K in the studio. But possibly the big news that we want to talk about is that Rod Ferguson, previously of the Coalition, the Gears War studio, he put out Gears 4 and just about got 5, I think, before he left the studio out, and then went on to work on the Diablo series, the really successful mobile game. Is it Immortal? I think that's what it's called.
Yes, it's Immortal.
So I think that. So yeah, it's got that out the door. And of course Diablo 4 and all of its DLC. So Diablo 4 has been a big success, if a bit mixed reception with fans. But of course the big thing for Rod is that he's always delivered releases, and I think that's something that the games industry falls on its face for so frequently at the moment, is actually getting games out the door. So I think Rod will be a big fixer for the studio. That's what he's going in for. And he had actually worked on Bioshock Infinite. I think he was
brought in to finish Bioshock Infinite. So yes, he's brought back again. He knows what he's doing, at least.
Well, it sounds like they got the right guy. And Adam, I know you're a huge Bioshock fan. So how do you feel about Rod Ferguson getting back to the helm of this studio?
I'm all for it. If he's what's needed, it sounds like he knows. I'm glad it's someone who knows the series. He helped close Bioshock Infinite, and I really enjoy Bioshock Infinite. Some people I know didn't like it, the story wise, but I was obsessed. Bioshock's my favorite game ever. So just give me more Bioshock. I want Bioshock. I will wait for Bioshock. It needs to be good. That series is too spectacular to roll in my eyes. Like I think they talked about delaying it into 2027. Fine by me. There's another game that looks very Bioshocky, but is like a cyberpunky, steampunky type thing. I think it's called Welcome to Brightville. if we get Bioshock, then Bioshock 4 and Welcome to Brightville in the same year, I will lose my mind because Welcome to Brightville. If you haven't looked, I did a piece for it when it got announced. It looks amazing. Has very Bioshock vibes, but it's kind of like it's got British vibes to it in there. Like there's a clockwork gentleman who's like, "Oh yes, come this way," then he smacks you. Like it's got that. I just love it, so I'm all for it. So yeah, if it's gonna be delayed, delay it. I'm happy to wait. I want it sooner, but it is what it is. I mean, I feel for the people at Cloud Chamber. The 60 or 70 people have been sacked. Again, it's not something you want really. Like what I don't quite understand the decision, and I suppose it's not. And I think the reason we want to talk about it is because there's so much news that it maybe gets buried, not buried intentionally, but equally there was maybe some thinking about like actually maybe it won't get the attention that it would have done in a quieter week. But I don't understand how sacking 60 people helps you make your game.
out of 250 people too.
Yeah, so you lose a quarter of your workforce. Like what? I mean, if they were just twiddling their fingers and not doing anything, fair enough. If they're the reason that the game is currently naff by their internal thing, maybe fair enough. Well, it's still not fair enough. You're losing your job. Like no one's effed up that badly that they need sacking, right? Like the building didn't burn down. But yeah, so I don't quite understand that decision because surely you want people to help make the game quicker, right? Many hands make for light work and all that jazz. So we'll just wait and see, I suppose. But yeah, it's still in development. I mean, I suppose there's always a risk that they could have just cancelled it if they didn't think it was. But they must see something there that's worth, especially when the industry seems so brutal with cancelling stuff. They could have easily gone, nah, cut it. So they must see something that's worth investing in. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like we had just reported on the fact that Bioshock 4 was confirmed to be in development. Bioshock 4 is happening by like the higher ups, and you gotta wonder after hearing about all these massive layoffs and how much of this is being said to please shareholders, right? And I mean, I don't know. I'm with Addy. It's like I'm just glad to see that it is still in development. I'm glad to see that it's still coming. I hope that they do take their time. I'm pretty much just regurgitating everything you said, Addy, at this point. But you're right. This game is so important to the industry. It's so important to the franchise that it stays existing. Sorry, it's hard to keep my train of thought. But yeah. But I don't know. Part of me, my point is I'm worried that if they're trying to reassure us to please the shareholders, like, are we ever really going to see this game? You know, is this game ever really going to come out? I mean, a lot of this is just speculation at this point. But I'd say if they're bringing on Rod Ferguson, then yeah, I mean, I'd say we would see it. And my only thought process to laying off that many people is it sounds to me, but based off of like what I'm hearing about it, is that they're just kind of completely restarting from scratch. Like they're just having to completely start over. And if you've been in development for this long and you're at the point where you're starting from scratch again, maybe like holding on to some assets, maybe using some things of that nature, but ultimately starting back to ground zero, then you're probably going to have to just reevaluate how you do the entire thing. And if you've already poured that much money into it, you probably kind of want to like lower your costs going forward. That's just my take, but what do I know? I'm just I'm just a semi truck driver, you know.
Yeah, so it sounds like the game's got a lot to go through, and you know, I feel like we're probably not going to see Bioshock any earlier than 2028 now. I think it's going to be one of those. It's like a cross-gen game. Like, obviously, it's being built at the minute, so it's going to be something which should probably come out on PS5 and Xbox Series and PC. But you've got to start to think now that it's probably one of those that spans two consoles. But
I would think it's a lot.
That's my feelings. I hope I'm wrong.
I would take that as a launch title. That would be superb.
That would be amazing. That would be legendary right there.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. And I'm with you, Adam. But Infinite's my favorite. I played all of them late. I think the first one I did complete was Infinite, and yeah, absolutely love it. Such a bloody good game. I've got the collection somewhere. I think the remaster. I probably need to give them a go again someday. But yeah,
There's always a lighthouse.
Always. Well, gents, I think that's probably all the time that we've got for news this week. So we'll come to what we always finish the weekly show with, and that's what we're looking forward to, where we talk about something that's coming out in the near future or a little bit further afield, but it's something that we want to highlight that looks pretty special to us. So, Nathan, let's come to you first. What's something that you're looking forward to?
Finishing the Chaos Range DLC from Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, that's you guys are always, I love listening to the news show because you guys are always like exploring these new indie games, and you always bring something new to the table every single week. And I'm just over here. I'm still playing Expedition. But yeah, I'm excited to get into the Chaos Range DLC. But hey, I'm also very excited for, oh my gosh, the name slipped my mind. That new 2D action game. It comes out next week. Fuck. I can't remember the name of it. Gosh, that's going to kill me. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for the next 2D action adventure. You got the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and then the...
Is it Art Shinobi? That one?
Yes, thank you. Yes, Shinobi. So I'm very excited for the next Shinobi game, because I'm not much of a 2D gamer. Like I'm not much of a platform gamer at all. But since joining Gamer Social Club, like I've definitely expanded my gaming tastes. If you would have told me Astrobot would be my game of the year, I would have told you you're crazy. But here we are. I'm really excited to dig into this game. I know Jeff over from Interactive Distractions who's like talked it up highly. I'm excited to dig into that, and yeah, I believe that is next week. So yeah.
Good times. Yeah, no, that one's pretty imminent. So sounds like a good fun one to get involved in. Adam, what are you looking forward to?
I think there's so much out in the next month. I mean, like that. Not next week, the week after, when you've got Hell Is Us, Kronos, now Silksong, Hiragami, and whatever else is madness. But I think the one that I think I've talked about it before, but I don't know if I mentioned it in this section. But the one I'm looking forward to, I don't know, is Zoe Begone, which is it kind of has the immediately in my head. I think Cuphead. In terms of it's a shooter, it's a 2D shooter, and I really love the kind of idea behind it is that it's set in like the 30s. It's like a 30s film reel, and you're just trying to have a sleep. You are Zoe, and she wants to sleep, and the animator has got other thoughts and other ideas, and starts creating hand-drawn like enemies to fight and stuff like that, and then you've got bosses to take on. You basically try to take on the narrator and the animator, and every so often, like a boss will be the animator with its paintbrush, and you've got to like beat the paintbrush and stuff like this. And it's from a solo dev called Recce. We met him in London and at Glasgow. Lovely guy. He's working really hard on this game. It's finally coming out on the 17th September, and I'm super looking forward to it. And it's coming out on it's on everything, so you can play it. And it's just one of those games that feels like it looks so well polished and well made. The music sounds good. The gameplay looks great. I played it. I played on it at New Game Plus in London, and it feels really good to play. There's a demo on Steam now, so you can try it out. But I would that'd be what I'm looking forward to the most at the moment. I think it's gonna be super fun. I know it is.
I know you've been talking about that one for quite some time. So yeah,
it got released last week, I think it was, and so it's very like.
Great. You're right. Honestly, the next 4 weeks or so is looking absolutely insane. I don't know how I'm going to keep up. I'm not going to keep up, is the reality. So.
I signed up for GameFly just to try to keep up. It's not going to help. Let me tell you, I dropped $20 and they haven't sent me a single game. Everything's low quantity. I'm just like, yeah, nah, I'm canceling this. By the time I actually get a game, I could have just bought a game.
Yeah. Like you, Mark.
Put that money in Game Pass.
Yep.
For me, the main thing I'm looking forward to that's coming out over the next few weeks is Platypus Reclayed that finally has a release date.
Ah, yes.
So, me and you had a hands on with that in London earlier this year, Adam, and it's a game that is a remake of something that I played as a kid. It's a side-scrolling shooter, like a Gradius kind of thing. But it's all clay models. It's been completely rebuilt about 23 years after the original came out.
Yeah.
So I think you may remember we just met for the first time, and then you see my eyes light up at this game and you were like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, I know this. But I've covered it quite a bit on the site. We've had an interview with the developer and the original creator of the game, Anthony Flack, over the last few months. So it's something I've been covering quite a lot, and it's got a release date on September the 18th. So just about 4 weeks away now, and that's also coming out on just about everything too. So Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. So really looking forward to getting hands on that in next to no time at all. And we've got a really good developer interview on the website if you want to check that out, everyone. So yeah, that's for me. Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to do the podcast with you this week. There's been so much news, and there's been so much news we've not had the time for. So we could have gone on for another 2 or 3 hours, I'm sure. But
oh yeah, 100%.
That is the. It's already approaching half midnight here in the UK, so we'll wrap up in just a second. But if you're listening to the podcast, everybody, and if you're a regular listener, thank you for coming back. If it's your first time here, please do. We would love you to subscribe and come and join us in our weekly news podcast. We also have the Gamer Social Club Hangout show. Nathan, do you want to give that a plug while you're here?
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow night, we're recording live. We're at the time of recording this, it's the 21st of August. But yeah, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be going live. We're going to be with me, Fraser, Commander Buck. We're all going to be talking about games again, and I think we're going to get into a little bit of topics. We haven't really quite nailed down what we're going to talk about yet, but I do know we are going to be getting into our next episode of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So if anybody hasn't really been keeping up with the Assassin's Creed deep dives that we've been doing, we've been going into every game and taking out the best parts, exploring the worst parts of those games, and extracting all the things that made it so good and trying to come up with like the best ultimate Assassin's Creed game. So tomorrow night's the next installment of Syndicate. If you're not interested in watching it live, don't worry. It will post again. I think we'll post the Assassin's Creed bit on Wednesday of next week. So if you want to just catch the Assassin's Creed bit, you can do that. Or if you want to just catch the bullshit and talking video games and what we're excited about, then yeah, tune in this weekend. So, and then also don't forget to check out the Girl Pod with Lady V and Candy. And some insider information here. Russell, the Casualties of Gaming, is going to be making a return appearance on the episode. I've already given it a listen. So it's really good. It's a good time. Get ready for some more PC Master Guru stuff. So
Awesome! It's absolutely great stuff. So by both the Hangout show and of course the Girl Pod. So something for everyone. This is not normally just a boy pod. So Lady V is normally with us, but she'll be back next week. So everyone, if you've enjoyed the show, we'd love you to subscribe to our channel, and please do feel free to leave a like on the video as well. And if there's anything you'd love us to cover, please do leave a comment. And it's something that we're always, listening to everyone's feedback. We're gamers like you. We're not professionals at this, but we absolutely love talking about games and writing about them, talking about them, and if you want to get involved, please join our Gamer Social Club Discord. We'll leave a link in the description below. And any of your chosen social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, we're on everything. So please do come and follow us. The greatest showman strikes again. Adam, can you sound us off with your most recent favourite sound of the pod? Please do bring us down. Has to be done. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening.
Peace.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Lovely to pod with you, and look forward to doing it all again. But everyone who's watched, thank you for your time. Have a great weekend, and hope to see you back next week. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Bye.